missed this detail, because the biggest royal headline from the weekend wasn't actually who waved from the Buckingham Palace balcony. It was who didn't. And the reason that matters is a lot more revealing than the internet is making it sound. Because if you've been seeing people claim King Charles has now permanently banned Prince Harry from the balcony, the latest footage tells a story, but not quite the one people think. So what really happened here? And why does this moment keep getting louder every single year? On the surface, it looked like a normal Trooping the Color finale. King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Kate, Charlotte, Louis, Princess Anne, Prince Edward, the Gloucesters, the Duke of Kent. The balcony moment arrived, the cameras rolled, the flypast happened, and the royal family gave the country the exact image the monarchy wanted projected. But then the missing names started driving the entire conversation again. Harry. Not there. Not in the lineup. Not in the frame. And that's where people began jumping to a much bigger conclusion. Now here's the part that matters. The latest verified reporting does not say Buckingham Palace issued some dramatic new order in the last 72 hours declaring Harry permanently banned. That's not what has been confirmed. What has been confirmed is something quieter and maybe more powerful. The balcony lineup remains restricted to working royals and some of their children, a narrower setup first introduced by Queen Elizabeth in 2022 and continued under King Charles. So the viral claim sounds explosive. The verified reality is more controlled than that. And somehow, that may be even more significant. Because think about what the balcony actually is. It's not just a family photo. It's not just tradition. It's one of the clearest visual signals the monarchy has. Who stands there is who the institution wants the public to see as representing it in real time. That's why every balcony appearance gets dissected like political theater. Every placement matters. Every absence matters more. And when Harry is absent again, people don't read that as a scheduling detail. They read it as a message. But then something changed in the way this story landed. This year, the debate wasn't being driven by an old interview or a recycled memoir quote. It was driven by fresh images, new balcony footage, new lineup photos, a new Trooping the Color. That's why it blew up again. Viewers weren't arguing over the past. They were watching the present, and the present looked extremely clear. The monarchy's most public image still does not include Harry, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because the more often the same visual repeats, the less it feels temporary. Not because the palace said new words, not because Charles gave a fresh interview, but because repetition creates its own meaning. 1 year can be explained away. 2 years starts a pattern. By 2026, with the same balcony rules still intact, people aren't just watching an absence anymore. They're watching an arrangement that appears fully normalized. That's exactly why so many viral posts are using the word permanent, even though that exact wording is not what verified reporting has confirmed. Now add the timing, because this is the detail a lot of people are locking onto. On the very same day the royals stepped onto that balcony in London, Harry appeared in a video message for the 2026 Invictus Germany Sports Festival. Different stage, different audience, different kind of public role. So while one royal image was unfolding in front of cameras at Buckingham Palace, Harry was visible somewhere else entirely, in a completely separate frame. That overlap made the contrast feel sharper than usual. And once viewers noticed that split-screen effect, the reaction changed tone fast. At first, it was simple confusion. Wait, who's on the balcony this year? Then came the clip sharing and side-by-side posts. Then the argument escalated into something bigger, not just where Harry was, but what his absence now symbolizes. For some viewers, the balcony looked like a clean projection of the current working monarchy. For others, it looked like a deliberate visual closing of the door. Same images, very different emotional read. But here's what people aren't noticing. The strongest part of this story is not the drama. It's the discipline. If you strip away the social media wording, the palace strategy appears remarkably consistent. The balcony is being treated less like a broad family gathering, and more like a narrowed display of who is publicly carrying out the monarchy's duties. And if that's the operating logic, then Harry's absence is not being presented as a sudden punishment. It's being presented as the outcome of the current structure. That distinction matters a lot. Now let's separate fact from theory, because this is where videos like this can easily go off the rails. Confirmed fact: Harry and Meghan were absent from the 2026 Trooping the Color balcony. Confirmed fact: people reported that the smaller balcony model has been kept to working royals in recent years and continued under Charles. Confirmed fact: Harry appeared by video for Invictus Germany the same day. What is not confirmed in the latest 72-hour reporting is a new palace declaration saying Harry is permanently banned. That specific framing is internet interpretation, not a fresh, verified statement. So why did this blow up now? Because audiences don't respond to rules the same way they respond to visuals. A palace policy note doesn't go viral. A balcony shot does. A constitutional explanation doesn't spread across feeds. A missing face in a major national ceremony does. That's the real engine here. The public isn't debating an administrative rule. They're reacting to a symbol they can instantly understand without reading a single article. And there's a deeper layer under that. Celebrity culture trains people to look for reconciliation in images. One appearance, one wave, one shared balcony shot. That's all it takes for fans to start saying maybe the frost is thawing. Which means the reverse is also true. No appearance becomes its own headline. No shared frame becomes its own statement. In a media environment built on visual clues, absence doesn't feel neutral. It feels loud. But then ask yourself this: if the palace never needed to say the words, does that make the message weaker or stronger? Because a formal ban can be debated. It can be quoted. It can be challenged. But a repeat image? That settles into public memory in a completely different way. It doesn't argue with you. It just keeps showing you the same thing until the audience starts finishing the sentence for itself. Source: and this is why the latest development matters beyond royal gossip. It's a masterclass in how institutions manage image. The balcony isn't random. It's a stage. The lineup isn't accidental. It's hierarchy, edited into a single shot. And the reason this keeps pulling people in is because it turns family tension, public duty, reputation, exile, and branding into one frozen image that everyone thinks they can decode. Still, something about this story stays unresolved. If Harry's absence is simply the continued result of the working royals only model, then the institution sees this as continuity. But if the public keeps reading that continuity as a lasting exclusion, the pressure shifts. Not onto one dramatic announcement, but onto the image itself. Every new balcony appearance becomes another test, another comparison, another round of people asking whether this is just protocol or whether protocol has quietly become the final answer. And that's the part nobody can fully close off yet. Because the latest 72 hours did not give us a new official ban statement. They gave us something much harder to ignore. A fresh royal balcony moment, a familiar absence, and a public that keeps turning repetition into meaning. So maybe the real question isn't whether King Charles said Harry is permanently out. Maybe the real question is what happens when the monarchy never has to say it at all. And if this keeps repeating like this, then this may not be the end of the story. It may be the image that keeps redefining it.